Hello again and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to render this bathroom scene both in Enscape and V-Ray. We are going to create materials in Enscape and V-Ray using the same PBR textures, and also use default Enscape and V-Ray materials. Let's begin. We start by setting up the visual setting in Enscape and add some lights so we can illuminate the scene. The lighting we are using to illuminate the scene are all artificial lighting. There is no natural light coming from outside of the model. The lights and settings I used is what I found what works best for me with this scene. You can always change the lighting setup and tweak the settings for your liking. Let's make self-illuminated material and apply it to the lighting fixtures. For the cove lighting, I make a tube, then apply a self-illuminated material to it. Let's go to V-Ray and set up the render scene. I use RTX for the render engine, turn on denoiser, and adjust camera exposure value to 13. Then I change render output to a smaller size for the preview render. On the V-Ray frame buffer side panel, under Lens Effect tab, I enabled Bloom Glare. Then added a filmic tone map layer. Now we can start interactive render and add some lights. I create emissive material and apply it to the lighting fixtures to make them look they are turned on. Now I create cove lighting using rectangle light. Okay, time to create materials for our model. The PBR textures I used came from Lot Pixel and Polygon. Let's make the flooring material. I use normal map for the height map. Then change the reflection value. I increase the size of the texture as well. Now we create the same flooring material in V-Ray, using the same texture we used in Enscape. I use the glossiness map for the reflection. And I use the normal map for the bump. Then increase the texture size as well. Now let's do the walls. We do the same in V-Ray. Now we create marble top for the counter. Let's do the ceiling, and make a semi-gloss paint-like material. I create the same paint material for the left side wall cabinet with a darker shade. Let's download the wood for the cabinet doors and drawers from the Enscape material library. Make a few adjustments to the material to make it more realistic.
Let's go.
We download more materials from the Enscape materials library and use them for the faucet, hinges, and shower fixtures. I also use the same material for the lighting fixtures. Let's do the same in V-Ray. You'll notice that the real-time render of Enscape is much better than the interactive render of V-Ray. I download wood from Chaos Cosmos browser. I also download aluminum and metal materials. We go over to Enscape. There is no porcelain material in Enscape material library, but we can make our own porcelain-like material within Enscape, using these settings. In V-Ray, we can download a porcelain material in Cosmos library, so we can just use that. And it's render-ready material, so we don't need to change any settings in the material. Let's make the glass material in Enscape for the shower enclosure. We create glass using these settings. In V-Ray, we can download the glass material from the Cosmos library and use it. Now we create mirror material in Enscape. To do this, we reduce the roughness of the material to 0, and we increase its metallic settings to 100%. In V-Ray, we can also download mirror material from Cosmos library and use it. We can download the wood for the basket in Enscape Material Library. Make sure to apply materials to all the components in the model. Let's download the material for the basket in Cosmos browser. Let's create the material for the towel. This one can be a bit tricky. You need to find the right PBR texture to use in your particular component or towel model in order to achieve a realistic look. I find that these settings works best for these components. In V-Ray, we create the towel material using the same PBR textures we use in Enscape. In addition, we can add fur to the material to make it more realistic. One thing to note is, if the components is not at the foreground of the scene, this may not be necessary. This is just to demonstrate that there is an option to do this if we need to. In most cases, a bump or a displacement map is enough if it is at the background of the scene. We can use a bump map for the towels that are under the sink and in the cabinet. Some of the assets I have downloaded from the 3D warehouse have textures in them, and we can use those textures since they are not in the foreground of the scene. Thank you for watching part 1 of the Enscape and V-Ray Render video. On the second part of this series, we will add accent lights to better illuminate and compose our scene, and do a test render in V-Ray before we make a final render, both in Enscape and V-Ray. And if you find this video helpful, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and subscribe for more videos like this.